Hey guys, what's up? It's been a bit, I know, but sometimes life gets in the way, and that's kind of just how it is. Today I want to start off, it's a bit more serious than normal, but I guess my friend is a felon. Um, he's not convicted yet or anything, so he's like half Trump. Um, except I don't think, I don't want to call him akin to Trump, but it's still pretty bad. So, like, some exposition. I've known him for years. He went to this school briefly, I guess the start of this school year. So, um, we're just gonna eyeball it and say 7 months, even though that might be a bit much. Um, but he didn't technically get kicked out yesterday. The police showed up and handcuffed him. Thank God I didn't see it like in person, but I heard about it because otherwise I would have, I don't know. I've known him for a while, is the point. I've known him longer than I've known anyone else at this school, except for maybe one of the staff members or here. Um, but I'm not gonna say his name because I don't know if he's on like a registry yet. But I guess that's foreshadowing. Um, he's 18. And the victim, which I honestly shouldn't put in air quotes because it's pretty serious. Um, his victim was 15. Both are my friends. I was closer with the 18-year-old, my first friend, because I had known him a lot longer, and the other kid, the 15-year-old, is kind of autistic, which not in like a derogatory way, but like he's a bit further down on the spectrum than me or a few of my friends. So naturally he gets picked on a bit more, which is just kind of the way stuff works. Um, but yeah, it was stuff of a sexual nature. Um, it's really fucked up. I don't know the specifics of it, but you can find like his case number online. But it's all just pretty fucking really messed up, and it's I don't know. I think I'm spiraling. I want to spiral so it seems more valid. But I don't want to like hurt myself around me because I can't like match that, of course. That's a stretch, but I don't want to like act out or something. But like I just feel like I should be more upset than I am. And I'm pretty upset, but it almost feels like it's not valid enough, which is something that I kind of struggle with more than a little bit. Um, but it's just it's just very, 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 very difficult because I really, really like this person. I want to keep going in circles. But um, the other one, the 15-year-old, was definitely a victim, and he's not gonna get bullied for a while. Um, it explains, I think, a good bit, and I just feel so awful for him. Naturally, anyway, it's like hashtag me too and shit. But I don't know if I can say like the R word, not like the mental kind, but um, my mom, a lawyer, says it wasn't like technically like a sexual crime or anything, at least looking at the charges, but nonetheless, people know what it was here at school. And it's just, I'm scared for both of them. I think morally it might be wrong to be scared more for my friend, because he's the one who committed the crimes. 3 felonies, one misdemeanor advertisement, or no, fuck boy. It's just this whole thing is screwed and it's so rough and I don't know what to do about it and it's hard and it hurts. It really hurts. I can't like spontaneously cry at the moment because I'm not feeling like that. I think I cried the other day or whatever, but it's this thing. It goes back to me not feeling valid enough. And it's like I know that's like a common enough thing, like not feeling valid enough and shit. But that doesn't take away from my experience, you know. Um, but I don't want to do anything that I'll regret. I don't want to self-harm, because I don't want to get like outed for having stuff in my arms, even though it's kind of tempting, but I'm clean of that for a hot minute. So, um, but I don't really know what I'm going to do from here going forward. I have a chemistry quiz tomorrow, which I kind of need to study for. But I'll do that later because I owe y'all a video. Um, those of y'all who don't exist, the 0 viewers who click on this video. Um, but uh, yeah, it's like, where do I go from here? And there is always not gonna be a definitive answer for pretty much anything in life. And like, once you accept that and shit, it doesn't get easier, but it doesn't make it as confusing. So that's not true. I feel like that sounded better in my head. You're never gonna know exactly what to do, even if you think you do, you don't. Um, and it's just always think when you make decisions and shit, and think about your future. Think about your values and shit, which I don't stress enough here. My morals and ethics and just general philosophical shit, that not a lot of people acknowledge and just take for granted or don't even like understand or take at all. Um, it's, I don't know, critical thinking is like if if more people in our world had some trace of critical thinking within them, the world would be exponentially better and we'd have a much more cohesive society, which is always going to be the ideal, but some people don't have access to education, and it's our fucking country, and it's the fucking world we live in, and it shouldn't be like that, but it is. Um, and it hurts me to see like when other people haven't been given the same opportunities that I've been given. Like not just like financially and shit, like I'm well taken care of for, and not to like say I'm spoiled because every second I'm grateful for what I have around me. For instance, I have fucking LED lights in my room. Like homeless people don't get that. Homeless people don't have LED lights for their room. They don't have rooms. Um, but it's if everyone was educated and everyone had access to these amazing teachers who should be paid fairly just like everyone else, then we'd have more kids going around with critical thinking skills and shit so they could shape our future for the better. But we just don't. And it could be any number of things. It's like we're doing civil rights shit and I don't want to say civil rights shit. Studying civil rights movements and US history and like giving people like a group access to education was a scary thing, which in and of itself is fucked up because we live in a society and you're just limiting the growth. There's like a really weird term for it. I don't remember. But you're putting a pause on society and you can't evolve your community, which is counterintuitive to the whole idea of human nature. It's just so fucking weird because I don't know, it's just racism, sexism, transphobia, just fear of people and fear of what they'll do with access to knowledge. Um, TLDR, smart people don't do dumb or don't do as much dumb shit as non-educated people do that. There's probably a fallacy in that statement somewhere, but I don't mean it, or like, um, hopefully you know what I mean. Um, you being the person that doesn't actually exist because no one watches me, of course, naturally. Um, we're coming up on 10 minutes, which I don't know if I want to make this like a long video or anything, but I do have another topic that I wanted to discuss. And I mean, now that I've brought it up, let me crack open my drink. Detransitioners. Um, I know in the trans community, actually, I don't want to speak for a whole group of people. Um, I had some stigma about it, but randomly I came across like an r slash detrans, which is basically a subreddit for detransitioners. In case you don't know what like a detransitioner is, it's someone who like um, I don't want to say convinces themselves, but someone who comes out and I carbonated drink, someone who comes out as trans or identifies as transgender, um, live or identify with that for X amount of time, and then they go back to being cis. Um, the stigma I think that most people have, or most like anti-trans people have, is that these people went on in like irreversible changes, which pisses me the fuck off because it's so close-minded, and it's not to say that like I want those people to die, but like it's just so fucking stupid. Like, let people live. Not everyone's the same. Stop looking at your fake statistics. Be open to like actual truth. Get off theonion.net. Get off, I'm not gonna name call any other um news sources, but I'm pretty liberal. If you, the person who's never watched me or doesn't exist, haven't listened to me before. Um, but no, I kind of was under the impression that all detransitioners were like that, which is also very close-minded of me, which is kind of messed up. But uh, no, they're not all bad. I don't even want to use a blanket term like most of them are. That's not a blanket term. Um, but a lot of them are still very validating, and it's just like being trans wasn't me. This experience that I took, this path that I took in life for however long it was actually really enlightening to me, and out of it, I became an ally who can understand trans people better than a lot of other people can. And it's just, I don't know, there's good people out there. I really like most of the LGBTQ community. I saw some like bullshit on Twitter, like gay people for Trump, like these two women at a protest, presumably they're married, which is fucked up because W Trump doesn't shouldn't exist. Eh. Actually, no, that's very controversial. Um, I think he's got good things about him. I'm sure. Um, he loves his family and stuff. But I don't want to speak too political on that because I can't vote yet. I'm not as far into like the general um like POTUS and shit, presidential like politics and stuff. I just follow what looks interesting. Um, but yeah. I don't know if I want to take the time, or I mean, I guess I should, just as an obligation, take more time looking into the news and like doing everything, participating the most I can in society so that my voice doesn't go to waste because there's only so many voices out there, that really can contribute to society. Um, yeah, that's about all I have for today. It's just, yeah, thanks, guys.